Well, I just finished welding up all our mounts. I'm quite happy with how it all come out. Our panhard mount, I just put a couple gussets each side and one on the bottom just so it can't lever itself up when that side's fully flexed out. Our 3-link mount, just sort of put a plate each side. This one I finished welded at the bottom and just put a little hole in there to help the water get out. But at the back, I left that all sort of open. So again, to help the mud sort of flow out, and hopefully it's not too much of a pain to clean. But all our control arm mounts are all welded in. This side, I'm gonna have to wait till the center comes out because you can see it gets very tight. The center still does come out, so once that's all out, and I can finish weld that. Now I'm not staying with the low pinion Hilux diff. I've got myself a 80 series high pinion, so this will be about I think it's about 80 mil difference. So where this pinion flange is, we're going to be up sort of about there, and that's going to benefit my drive angle hugely. So and when I get because these are 488 gears, I'm going to 529 gears, I'll get 80 series high pinion reverse cut front diff gears. And the front will be an air locker front, and the rear will just be an LSD for now, because with the rear diff, I'll just put the Hilux one in for now, and later down the track, I've got full float rear end out of I think it's either a 75 series or a 60 series that will be cutting and grafting them in. So, but now this is finished welding, we can start, we'll put it back in the car, get all our steering hooked up, put all our bolts that are missing back on, and we might even take it around the block and just see how it's all going to work. But obviously before that, we've got to work out our spring package and whatnot. After thinking and taking a fair few measurements, spring and shock package is just it's not gonna package very well, I don't think. So I went and ordered myself a couple of profender 10-inch travel coilovers. What I plan on doing is cutting down that steering stop roughly halfway, and that's where our coilover is gonna sit in here, because it's actually to get full compression of where I want. Because the coilover is a minimum length, you got to sort of work to that. So the coilover is going to hang down the bottom a little bit more, which I've got plenty of room. Yes, it's not ideal. In a perfect world, it'd be better sitting on top, so all the downforce is directly on the axle. Because being at the back of the axle, you're giving more leverage on. So this top link will essentially have more load. That's why I sort of use the 6mm plate on the side here, just so it's beefy. I'd rather a little bit beefy than this rip off. So there's no way that's going to rip off now. I did put a pass on the top and a pass on the middle inside. I don't know if I'm going to do a hoop yet or get proper coilover towers. I was going to fold them up in our folder, but which I do have the length for it, but because the pump's so worn out on the press now, it hasn't got the power anymore. Now it is a 40 or 50 ton cylinder on top. Like the press is plenty strong enough to do that, but like I said, the motor's she's a bit buggered. So I might have to outsource those coil towers, or I'm not sure on the hoops. Alright, I've gone ahead and marked this all out. I actually made up this jig that simulates the chassis rail, and that's the degree that it's on. So, and that's obviously when you flip this over, it changes. So I've got one on that side. Now I've marked this all out. This one's going to be the tricky one because this is the panhard side. So I'm not going to cut it yet. I'm going to have to dummy fit it a fair few times because I want it to tie in to my panhard mount. So what we're going to have to do is cut all the top out. I've actually gone ahead and already done the other one. So this is sort of what it looks like, all welded in. So I'm going to sort of emulate that to the other side. I've already gone ahead and sort of stripped out most of the wiring brackets that holds everything in. It's going to sneak past the turbo, so I'll have enough room there. So we just might have to unplug a few things, but try and get the grinder in there as best we can without cutting anything we shouldn't need to cut. Alrighty, so after a bunch of working out and measuring and whatnot, I ended up just cutting this top panhard mount off. It is kind of dark, so it's hard to see this side, but if I can get the light in there. So now it's gonna pretty much sit like that. So that this coilover tower is gonna tie right into our panhard mount. I've wrapped the top around the chassis rail and down. So I'll just weld as far as I can for now, and then the next time I have the motor out, I might even be able to get the MIG gun in there and weld down the side there, but I've still got to do the bottom plate for the panhard mount, and that is actually going to wrap up and around and return to this top plate here. So like before, the panhard will physically wrap right around the chassis rail. I only just sort of did that just because these are kind of thin, these rails, and rather than relying on the actual wall thickness of the material, we're just full boxing around it. All we got to do now is just trim up our tower and make it all sort of look nice, and then we can full weld it in. We'll have to put it in the eardrum killer 10,000 just to drill our hole, just like the other side, and then we can permanently weld it in. Those welds laid in quite nicely. The one weld on the back where I can't get to, I'm going to have to do that when the motor's out next. We've got our coil towers all mounted in, and there's just enough room. I had to pull my wastegate off to get it in there, but there's just enough room for it all to work. So super happy with how it's come out. I really didn't want these to poke through the body like this, because now mud and all that is going to spurt up and hit everything, but I didn't want to put the coilover mount on the side of the diff like I had planned. Now, if you did follow my Instagram, you'll see I originally had hoops in here, and because the way I wanted the hoop to sit with the coilover behind the hoop, it was just going to be way too tight with tires. Now, I've already gone ahead and put the wheel on that I'm using and flexed it up, and these work far better than putting the hoop in. And that's full compression there, and we've got just over an inch, which I'm pretty happy with that. You don't want any more than that. I never ever want to bottom these out because you'll end up blowing the seal or you'll hurt them. So plenty of clearance up the top, nothing's fouling. And over this side, we got the same. We got our about an inch there. This side does get tight with the panhard, but as you can see, we got 10 plus mil there, so nothing's fouling there. It all sits nice and tight, and we can still get our kingpin or steering arm, whatever you want to call it, out without pulling these shocks off or coilovers off. So That's what I wanted. I hate when you got to pull half the car apart just to get something simple out. So I can rebuild these swivel pin housings without pulling any of this off, which is what I want. Well, that just turned into a hard mission, that one. The forklift ended up blowing the seal in the top cylinder and it was just raining us in hydraulic fluid. It doesn't help that there's more water than oil in the hydraulic tank in this thing, but got to remember this is 1940s. Like, it's done pretty good and it's finally blown the seal out of all these years. Like, this thing, Dad's had this longer than he's had me, which is pretty cool. But we finally got our coil weights. It's 320 kilos a side. I'm going to ring the suspension joint on Monday and finally order some coils, and then that's the front 95% done. All I've got to do is weld in my knuckle gussets in there and then work out our bump stops. And also I've got to, at the very end, I just want to shave the front diff. But that's pretty much it for the front. We just got to finish weld everything and send it off to get powder coated, but I'm not going to powder coat it just yet. I'll wait till I'm driving the car. I might even take it out full driving, make sure I'm happy with everything, and then we'll finally get everything painted up. Now, with where these coil towers come through, the reason I put them in this particular spot, they are on certain degrees and angles and whatnot, but this is where the factory Vitara body, the original strut, sort of pop through. So when I get the new body later down the track, I can just drill out the spot welds like I did on these, pull them off, and the body will sit right on. There was no modifying the body for it to sit on, which is what I wanted. So later down the track, we're going to have to make some sort of caps, probably with rivet nuts or something. So you undo the 4 or 5 rivet nuts, and then you can pull this off to get to your top coilover. I am going to be putting a little brace from one side to the other. So what I'll do is I'll probably just put 2 tabs off here and put a tube in between with one little bar that'll go in between these intake runners. Super happy with the progress we made in this video. In the next one, we'll get stuck into the rear diff. Thanks for watching.